But this is Pierre. Pierre has been descented. This is what I'm talking about. It is very common. If you were in a state where you could buy a skunk, you'd probably be able to go down to a pet shop and pay $150, $200 and get a descented skunk. About 4 weeks old, they go to the vets to be descented. I'm not sure what the process is, but basically they have 2 scent glands. They'll remove both of them, and then they're all set. Now, I say that, but if you were to pick him up, he still smells a little bit like a skunk. Do you know why? Because he's a skunk. He's a skunk, and skunks are mustelids, and mustelids all pretty much have some type of a scent to them. And he has that. So he's got his regular scent, and then he's got the scent that he would use if he were going to spray. Now, the reason that they need this spray is because they're really quite slow. They've got terrible eyesight. They have terrible hearing. And so they need a way to defend themselves, and that scent is what defends them. Okay. Pierre is a very, very beautiful animal too, and I love the coloring on skunks. And you know, we have a tendency to look at them and associate them with this horrid smell, so we don't think that there's any beauty in that coat, but I think they're beautiful. It's not a particularly soft coat. It's quite wiry. Yep, there you go. Oh, yeah. He does like being scratched a little bit here too. But a very wiry, especially in the tail. But the defense that we're seeing here is when he sees me, let's see, if you're going to do it, okay, tail goes up, and he stomps down with the front feet and drags them back like that. That's a warning. If a skunk does that, I would suggest turning around, going the other direction. Okay, so beautiful, beautiful coat. And what's that for? But I'm talking about the black and white stripe. There's a reason for that black and white stripe. Now, some people may say camouflage, and that would be an obvious answer here, except the only thing that he would camouflage with would be the middle of a road. So indeed it is. Now, you're going to do that and fall right off the table, mister. All right. So indeed, that's what that is. That is nature's stop sign right there. That is telling you, you better get away or you're going to smell really bad. And terrible eyesight, too. Now, we, of course, think that nocturnal animals are going to be like that flying squirrel, and they're going to have really good eyesight. Well, not so much, because he comes out at night. He doesn't really even need to see that well. I mean, you think about it. Flying squirrels obviously need to see. They're jumping out of trees. They want to make sure they're not going to smack into another tree. With him, if he's walking along and he smacks into a tree, he goes boink, ow. That's it. And off he moves. Problem is, he can't see predators coming at him. And for any of you who have run into skunks before, you might have noticed something with them. As long as you walk slowly, as long as you talk softly, they're not going to bother you. I've had wild skunks walk right up to me, walk right between my legs, and move along, as long as I haven't made any loud noises or fast movements. Fast movements, because they can't really see that well. Loud noises, that's just a response that they are going to have to loud noises, is to spray. So, that works out quite well to them. But this black and white stripe, this warning, this works really well for them. And let's see how that works, okay? Let's say you kids are baby foxes. And mom's done a good job. She taught you how to eat things like squirrels and chipmunks and stuff. But you've never seen a skunk before. And you're walking along, you're on your own now, and you look up a hill, and on the top of that hill, here comes a black and white animal. It's just waddling along, because that's what they kind of do, waddle, waddle, waddle. And you go, look at that, there's lunch right there. He's not moving fast, I know I can catch him. He doesn't even look like he sees me, and off you go. You go running up the hill, and he's just sitting there digging away. And all of a sudden, you get close enough, he catches movement out of the corner of his eyes, psh, up goes the tail, and now you smell awful. And you're going to smell that way for a couple of months. Now you smell bad for a couple of months. Then, all of a sudden, you start to get better. Now you start to smell like a fox, which, by the way, isn't a whole lot better than smelling like a skunk. But you smell like a fox again, and you see another black and white animal. Are you going to go anywhere near it? Absolutely not. All right. Hey, Tuffy, what are you doing? What are you doing? You can't really see me, can you? All right. The other thing you might have noticed with him is the front claws. Most mustelids have pretty good claws. Some use them for certain things, like fishers and stuff would use them to grab prey. He doesn't use them for that. He actually uses them to dig with. And sometimes you might wake up in the morning, go out in your backyard, and you see all these little holes dug in your yard. And you go, what was that? They weren't there yesterday. So you know it wasn't a squirrel. It's probably a skunk. Because skunks, remember, they have this wonderful sense of smell. That's how they find things. They can sense grubs and things underground. And so what they're going to do is go along and smell that grub, dig it up, and eat it. So they're going to leave these holes in your lawn. And that's what they wind up doing with those front feet.